All righty. Says we're live. Let's go back to the comments. What's up, Dave? Fear porn time. Not really. You guys asked for it, so it's not something that I would normally do during a stream. Since you guys asked for it, so I decided to go. Yeah, you know what the hell? We've been talking about it for quite some time. I guess we'll wait for a few more people to get in if we can. But hit the like button as you come in. What's going on, Toya? Wearing them short skirts at work, girl. You know better. What's going on, Jazzy? Cool gamer. What's up? Vince, what's going on? I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying, man. Well, you guys can tell me, man, because I'm doing an experiment. It really don't get a lot from um, really don't get a lot from live streams as far as ads, as far as AdSense. So next time I probably will turn it off. But I'm doing an experiment to see what's the difference. It probably doesn't add up to very much. So I might just turn it off, for the stream, and then turn it back on, afterwards. We'll see. If it really bothers you guys, just say so. If the ads really are too annoying, just say so. Oh yeah, it's going to it's okay, cool. Um, yeah, yeah. AI is going to be very, very different. Okay, it's going to be very. It's really. Uh, it's kind of hard to put it in place. It's been something that I first saw AI as a concept back in, I would say, the late '80s when they were actually building Epcot Center, and one of the MIT professors had it in his house. He was experimenting with AI and automated household control in his home, where he just by voice command. So it's been around, I would say, 35 years that I know of. Okay, in smaller forms. In fact, the one of the godfather of AI said he started experimenting with it in 1986. So it's been around. It just hasn't had enough power. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know that. I know that they did that. They did that about a month ago. They paid for it though. They actually bought it. Um, but Jules, what's up? Cleveland, what's up? Gemfire, what's up? Brahms, what's up? Jaron, what's up? Uncle Fire, Chris, Denny, Ninja, what's going on? Shannon, what's up? Juice, Clay, the Count, and what else we got? We'll do a couple more. Eddie's in the house. Jay's in the house, and Mr. Lewis is in the house. Okay, we'll go ahead and get into it. Got a little precursor. Uh, Probably pay a few minutes of this. This is Godfrey Hinton. He's called the Godfather of AI. He's been doing the tour for the past, I say, a month or so. So we're gonna play a little his interview, and uh, and then we'll get into it because it's a long process, man, and they've been filtering this stuff out for a very long time in different ways. And really, they just made it public. We're just seeing it because they're just not making it public. Well, it's really been public in a sense, uh, just not obvious where we can actually interact with it directly. So I'm gonna share screen and see if you guys can hear this. because we've had issues with StreamYards, and you've been able to hear. So put a one if you can hear it. Ninja Report, you can't hear it? Oh, you can't hear it. Okay. Let's do it a different way. All right. Let's do it a different way. Stop screen. We'll do it by the window. It's really low? Okay. I don't really know how to amp it up. Um, we'll go by let's try it this way. All right, let's try it this way.
Wasn't using as good a learning algorithm as these digital intelligences. And in particular, it wasn't as good because brains can't exchange information really fast, and these digital intelligences can. I can have one model running on 10,000 different bits of hardware. It's got the same connection strengths in every copy of the model on the different hardware. All the different agents running on the different hardware can all learn from different bits of data, but then they can communicate to each other what they learned just by copying the weights, because they all work identically, and brains aren't like that. So these guys can communicate at trillions of bits a second, and we can communicate at hundreds of bits a second via sentences. And so it's a huge difference, and it's why ChatGPT can learn thousands of times more than you can.
For people who might not be following kind of what's been happening with OpenAI and ChatGPT and Google's product Bard, explain what those are, because some people have explained it as kind of the autocomplete feature, finishing your thought for you. But what are these artificial intelligences doing?
Okay, it's difficult to explain, but I'll do my best. It's true in a sense they're autocomplete, but if you think about it, if you want to do really good autocomplete, you need to understand what somebody's saying, and they understand what you're saying. And they've learned to understand what you're saying just by trying to do autocomplete. But they now do seem to really understand. So the way they understand isn't at all like people in AI 50 years ago thought it would be. In old-fashioned AI, people thought you'd have internal symbolic expressions, a bit like sentences in your head, but in some kind of cleaned up language. And you would apply rules to infer new sentences from old sentences. And that's how it will all work. And it's nothing like that. It's completely different. And let me give you a sense of just how different it is. I can give you a problem that doesn't make any sense in logic, but where you know the answer intuitively. And these big models are really models of human intuition. So suppose I tell you that you know that there's male cats and female cats and male dogs and female dogs. But suppose I tell you you have to make a choice. Either you're going to have all cats being male and all dogs being female, or you can have all cats being female and all dogs being male. Now, you know it's biological nonsense, but you also know it's much more natural to make all cats female and all dogs male. That's not a question of logic. What that's about is inside your head, you have a big pattern of neural activity that represents cat. And you also have a big pattern of neural activity that represents man, and a big pattern of neural activity that represents woman. And the big pattern for cat is more like the pattern for woman than it is like the pattern for man. That's the result of a lot of learning about men and women and cats and dogs. But it's now just intuitively obvious to you that cats are more like women and dogs are more like men because of these big patterns of neural activity you've learned. And it doesn't involve sequential reasoning or anything. You didn't have to do reasoning to solve that problem. It's just obvious. That's how these things are working. They're learning these big patterns of activity to represent things, and that makes all sorts of things just obvious to them.
You know, what you're describing here, ideas like intuition and basically context, those are the things that scientists and researchers always say, well, this is why we're fairly positive that we're not going to head to that sort of Terminator scenario where, you know, the artificial intelligence gets smarter than human beings. But what you're describing is these are almost consciousness, sort of emotion level decision processes.
Okay, I think if you bring sentience into it, it just clouds the issue. So lots
Okay.
of people are very confident these things aren't sentient, but if you ask them, what do you mean by sentient? They don't know. And I don't really understand how they're so confident they're not sentient if they don't know what they mean by sentient. But I don't think it helps to discuss that when you're thinking about whether they'll get smarter than us. I am very confident that they think. So suppose I'm talking to a chatbot and I suddenly realize it's telling me all sorts of things I don't want to know. Like it's telling me, it's writing out responses about someone called Beyonce, who I'm not interested in because I'm an old white male. And I suddenly realize it thinks I'm a teenage girl. Now, when I use the word thinks there, I think that's exactly the same sense of thinks as when I say you think something. If I were to ask it, am I a teenage girl? It would say yes. If I were to look at the history of our conversation, I'd probably be able to see why it thinks I'm a teenage girl. And I think when I say it thinks I'm a teenage girl, I'm using the word think in just the same sense as we normally use it. It really does think that.
Give me an idea of why this is such a significant leap forward. I mean, to me, it seems like there are parallel concerns for in the 80s and 90s. Blue collar workers were concerned about robots coming in and replacing them and not being able to control them. And now this is kind of a threat to the white collar class of people saying that there are these bots and agents that can do a lot of things that we otherwise thought would be something only people can.
Yes, I think there's a lot of different things we need to worry about with these new kinds of digital intelligence. And so what I've been talking about mainly is what I call the existential threat, which is the chance that they get more intelligent than us and they'll take over from us, they'll get control. That's a very different threat from many other threats, which are also severe. So they include these things taking away jobs. In a decent society, that would be great. It would mean everything got more productive and everyone was better off. But the danger is that it'll make the rich richer and the poor poorer. That's not AI's fault. That's how we organize society. There's dangers about them making it impossible to know what's true by having so many fakes out there. That's a different danger. That's something you might be able to address by treating it like counterfeiting. Governments do not like you printing their money, and they make it's a serious offense to print money. It's also a serious offense if you're given some fake money to pass it to somebody else. If you knew it was fake, that's a very serious offense. I think government's going to have to make similar regulations for fake videos and fake voices and fake images. It's going to be hard. As far as I can see, the only way to stop ourselves being swamped by these fake videos and fake voices and fake images is to have strong government regulation that makes it a serious crime. You go to jail for 10 years if you produce a video with AI and it doesn't say it's made with AI. That's what they do for counterfeit money. And this is as serious a threat as counterfeit money. So my view is that's what they ought to be doing. I actually talked to Bernie Sanders last week about it, and he liked that view of it.
I can understand governments and central banks and private banks all agreeing on certain standards because there's money at stake. And I wonder, is there enough incentive for governments to sit down together and try to craft some sort of rules of what's acceptable and what's not, some sort of Geneva Convention or accords?
It would be great if governments could say, look, these fake videos are so good at manipulating the electorate that we need them all marked as fake. Otherwise, we're going to lose democracy. The problem is that some politicians would like to lose democracy. So that's going to make it hard.
So how do you solve for that? I mean, it seems like this genie is sort of out of the bottle.
So what we're talking about right now is the genie of being swamped with fake news.
Yeah.
And that clearly is somewhat out of the bottle. It's fairly clear that organizations like Cambridge Analytica, by pumping out fake news, had an effect on Brexit. And it's fairly clear that Facebook was manipulated to have an effect on the 2016 election. So the genie is out of the bottle in that sense. We can try and at least contain it a bit, but that's not the main thing I'm talking about. The main thing I'm talking about is the risk of these things becoming super intelligent and taking over control from us. I think for the existential threat, we're all in the same boat. The Chinese, the Americans, the Europeans, they all would not like super intelligence to take over from people. And so I think for that existential threat, we will get collaboration between all the companies and all the countries, because none of them want the superintelligence to take over. So in that sense, that's like global nuclear war, where even during the Cold War, people could collaborate to prevent there being a global nuclear war because it was not in anybody's interests.
Sure.
And so that's one, in a sense, positive thing about this existential threat. It should be possible to get people to collaborate to prevent it.
All right. Yeah, okay. That's a good place to stop on. But the thing is, that's what Musk was worried about. In fact, I think it was Google in 2012 when when a team actually developed one of these bots. Okay, one of these kind of AI bots, right? They closed their division down because it got too advanced. Okay, Facebook had a similar bot. In fact, I think the bot that actually did the face in Facebook posts, I think that got to the point where it was actually developing his own language, got too smart. They shut that one down. But Microsoft, as he says, has let this genie out of the bottle because, as they said in margin call, right, the three ways to make money in this business, right? Be first, be smarter, or cheat, right? And Microsoft says it's a hell of a lot better to be first. So Microsoft is the one that launched it first and is giving it away free and giving it away accessible to the public, right? These bots have been around for a while, like your Siri, your uh, Google Assistant, your um, Alexa. They're all uh, part of this bots, but they do have human controls over it because you have human beings actually sifting through the data and correcting this data. So we don't have control over it, but uh, these particular bots are basically they've been actually put on steroids. So what we have right now, I think, is an arms race with AI because people want to make money. Since Microsoft has fired the first shot, and like he says, Chat GPT is a baby. Okay. There's another interview he says with ChatGPT is okay. But he thinks that the GPT 2 was actually better, and Google has one that actually knows when a joke is funny. So these things, like he says, the way it's modeled and as fast as it runs, even though it doesn't have as many neurons as a brain, the communication between nodes is so fast that it can actually develop faster. There's access where brain you have a lot of information, but you don't have access to it. Okay, the way these models are, these AI sentients are actually have direct access to this information. I'm doing a stream on this later. Yeah, well, it's out of the bag. I think me and MGTOW Universe was going over this, man. I said it's out of the bag already. Um, if I can find it. Because I've been looking at this video from the Universal College of London, right? They've been talking about neoliberalism, which is the model that the world has been working on, an economic model this world has been working on over the last, let's say, 35, 40 years, right? And there was a question that there was asked. Let's see if I can find the question, because what he said about automation in wages. Let's see if I can find it. Because what happened with in certain places like maybe Germany, maybe China, there's a few other places where automation went back into wages. In other words, it made the jobs easier. But the thing is, instead of going into profits or for the top 10% or the top 1%, it went back into wages for it made jobs easier for the mainline workers. But in places like the West and like America, right, it doesn't. Okay, it goes into profits. That's come. We have this big uh, distribu- distribution of wealth, right? This big gulf between the rich and the common line workers is because the automation effects should have gone into wages into back into the society went to make people richer. So like that's why you have all these billionaires because this stuff is not just local; it's also global. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Okay. If y'all can see Rael, please go ahead and block him, man. Because he's blocked on mine, so I can't see him in the chat. So I can see him pop up. So go ahead and block him, man. Because I don't know. You know what the thing is, man. Y'all think this is funny, man. You guys think this is funny, and you guys are grown people. It's not. These people are not uh, teenagers. They're 20 years old. These guys are 40s and 50s, right? Okay. You don't have to show up to my stream and talk shit, man. Just go do your thing. So go ahead and hide him, man. So I need my mods to go ahead and hide him. So I don't even know what that's about, man. Thank you. Anyhow, as I was saying, um, I was trying to find a piece about UCL UCL from this guy, man. He's actually an old fashioned a labor leader, right? And he's been talking about neoliberalism and nah, I'll have to find it later because that didn't mark it, and I probably should have clipped it because what he said is that we're probably not going to profit from, we're probably not going to profit from this because this is still neoliberalism is still alive, and it's more toward gearing, um, suppressing wages and gearing it toward profits. So if you think that AI is going to make your job easier, it might, but thing is, what it's going to do is going to uh, cause less workers. In other words, you're going to be do more with less because you have a different tool. In fact, I was just reading where uh, instead of taking, 30 workers 3 months to finish a project, it's going to take a few days and one worker, right? Uh, Mental Universe actually experimented with that, right? Because I asked him if he had to make an app or he had to write a program, right? Um, with ChatGPT, how long would it take him? And he said a few hours. See, he described a program that he wanted. ChatGPT would spit out some code. He just go through it and he'll actually input his parameters, right? And then error check it. So in other words, in a few minutes, you could spit out the code. In a few hours, you could actually come in and error check it and all that kind of stuff. And then he could actually adjust it and actually input it, right? Within a day or two. That's the problem. That's automation. It could replace you, or it could not just replace you. Thing is, it make you redundant and unnecessary. It's like uh, in the earlier 20th century, right before all the farm machines came in, it took a whole lot of labor to actually grow food. In other words, you have to field the food. It took hundreds and hundreds of workers, man, months to harvest food, right? Took a couple of months and hundreds of workers, right? Now it takes a couple of weeks and one machine. and one farmer. So instead of a farmer farmer hiring hundreds of people, you can just hire two or three. It's a machine. Machine does everything a lot faster and a lot better, a lot quicker with less people. All it needs is energy, and that's what you're finding out. Uh, like he said, that, in other words, what he's saying is that they asked him, Godfrey, where is it going to hit? Okay, he said nobody knows it's going to be uneven because it's already in everything, right? It's already in your phones. It's already on your internet, right? The AI bots that you go out and search for things, right? You've been training it for the last 30 years. Okay, you've been as far as language concerned, you've been training uh, Google and Siri and Alexa for the last 5 or 6. Okay, that all goes into a database, natural language database. Speech patterns, be able to understand languages and variances in how you pronounce things. That's all gone into a what? Into a data file, right? This large data network, this large language model. And that's just one. That's just the intuitive stuff. We see what it does with art, all the images and all the art that's been online. That's all gathered together, and it can actually adapt the art to whatever model or whatever prompt you put in. Okay, it's already doing that. Okay, the Chinese are already have used it in banking. Crypto runs on this stuff. Most of the crypto that you see is actually done by AI. It's not done by a person. And that's banking. Okay. A lot of your banking is done by AI. It's not done by a person. When you do online banking, when you deposit a check by photographing it, the AI reads that stuff and deposits the check. It's not a person anymore. The last time I went into a bank was about 4 months ago. About 3 months ago, right, with my daughter, right, into the branch of my bank, right. Now it used to be when I was first got the account, maybe 40 years ago, man. You had like 50 people working in that bank, man. I went in that bank, they had 5 people. Same branch. They had 5 people in the branch. Five instead of 50. Five because of automation. And that's just the automation of the time, right? Because teller machines and stuff like that. Now it's down to five. Online banking, stuff like that, it's five. The medical field, I've been to the hospital a few times because I had a few people, sick with some serious illnesses, right? You walk in, there's not a team of nurses and staff anymore. You walk through there, that hospital is mostly empty except for the patients. Oh yeah, with private GP reading is completely out of the door. Remember, we're only 6 months in. Yeah, it's not out of the door. Big thing is basically reading. Reading actually is symbolic language that you train a human mind. Okay, that's how you train your mind. You will lose that skill, those particular skills, if you don't use them. It is an AI algorithm. It was designed. That was actually designed for email. The competition with world powers would keep people relevant somewhat. The thing is, we don't know. We have no clue because we've never been here before. We have never been here before, and that's the problem. We've never been here before. I've got tons of videos going back, man, all the way back to 2016, talking about AI is actually reading X-rays and scans, and most of your blood work is done by AI. You don't do your blood work anymore. I can say one thing about what's her name, that came up with us, um, Theranos. Okay, um, even though she's going to jail, she swindled some people, but she did come up with a concept to actually um, take a drop of blood or take blood and actually run it through a bunch of different tests and coming out with AI to actually read it. Even though her uh, what she proposed didn't work, the thing is the concept that she put out there and the stuff that she put out there, it does work. It doesn't work at the cost that she was trying to do at the local level, but at the hospital level, it does work. My father had 20 vials of blood run in about 30 minutes. A human being cannot do that. Men can't do that. Most of your nurses, when they come in, okay, they put you on an automated system, right? All your blood pressure, all your heartbeat, and all that kind of stuff. They don't come in and read that stuff anymore. It's constantly monitored by the AI and by the machines. And the nurse has a little smartphone that comes in and reads everything, right? Your medicine and everything else, right? Now the nurse is there to actually interact with the patient, but the thing is, and now a nurse can actually interact with 10 patients instead of one or two. Interesting, been gathering steam, and a whole bunch of people with disabilities who have been at the beta testing level. They've been beta testing this, man. They have been beta testing this. Somebody sent me something uh, about. They just sent it to me about 5 years. The first artificial baby will be born, where the artificial sperm, artificial egg, and an artificial womb. Okay, within 5 years, in Japan. Well, Japan has to have it. So uh, for different needs for different countries. Okay, this stuff is going to go on steroids now. Will AI make bricks irrelevant if it spreads as much as I think it will? No, the bricks it has to be controlled by people. Okay, it'll probably make bricks even more relevant than less relevant. Uh, Let me go ahead and invite MGTOW Universe up since you guys are asking them questions. So I'm gonna send you an email, MGTOW Universe. All right. Okay, I sent you the link. I emailed you the link. Um, since everybody has some questions, but the thing is that there's already bots out there. But the thing is as far as bots do building and welding, okay, they're harder to build. Okay, software is write once, deploy in many different places, right? Linking up hardware to software is difficult, but replacing an automated system that's already in software is very easy. It's very easy. That's like a ChatGPT is they can just roll it out. Here's the link. You test it out. They do it within an instant. Now, like I said, in Microsoft, it's in all the product. You want ChatGPT, all you need to do is go to Bing. You don't have to pay for it. It's right there. You want to use Dally, okay, where people actually charge you for like Mid Journey and that kind of stuff. You go to Bing and use Microsoft's browser. It's right there. It's free. It's free. They're giving it away, okay? Because to them, ChatGPT is a baby. It's a loss leader. The big systems are in industry, right? Replacing people, right? Sales, uh, sales calls, okay? Customer reps. Instead of outsourcing your customer service to India or what do they call it, the Philippines, where they speak English, you do it in house with a chat bot. They're not clones, okay? They're not clones. Dolly the sheep is a clone, okay? These are not clones. It's a clones. They take a cell and they take a whole cell and they actually duplicate your cells into a being. Okay, these are not clones. These are artificial babies. Clone is a direct copy. These are not copies. So most labs rely on edge computing with machine learning because of data. Most departments have engineering teams bigger than accounting or HR. Yeah. Well, engineering teams are different, right? Because it's a different. I think it's where did I send it? I think it's to your Gmail, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the one I have for you. Yeah, it's your Gmail. Mr. X. Yeah, I think it's Mr. X. That's the one I have for you. Yeah, yeah. Why do you have 43 emails, man? That makes no sense. I thought I was bad. I got about 5, but you have 43. That makes no sense. You can, if you tell them what to look for. It's probably easy to send AIs. Eventually, your AIs will probably be sent up to Mars and to the mining concerns instead of human beings. That's the next step. It makes more sense to send bots instead of humans to other planets and to out to asteroids because it's cheaper to keep you have to keep them alive. Okay, keeping a human alive in a foreign environment or alien environment is very difficult. Cheaper to send a bot. Perfecting humanity. I don't know if we don't know. We have no clue what these new beings are going to be like. Okay, but um, like like right now, if you you have a car accident, right? You can send it's like 10 photos of your car, and the AI will actually send you an estimate and send you places to actually get it fixed or cut you a check. And when I actually read it, and I think they were doing it in Japan. I think they were doing it also in China, experimenting with it. In fact, the AI was like 20% more accurate than a human adjuster that had like 10, 15 years experience. When it reads cancer X-rays, it's probably like 20% more accurate than a human. So will it replace doctors? The thing is probably not, but start replacing the need for as many. Um, they haven't released it yet, but the thing is a doctor in the box or or even your your medical assistant, right? Where you call in, you're gonna get a bot. And if the bot can't handle it, it'll escalate it right to the next person. Okay. When you do a loan, you can get a bot first, right? And then if it needs a person, it will escalate it. But most of the hard work will actually be done by a bot. In fact, the guy was saying that AI can, instead of human beings actually going through and actually analyzing a million loans, as you want a loan, house loan, a car loan, something like that, instead of using all these people actually uh, evaluate all these loans. You put an AI in, it can actually do within a week and do a billion estimated or actually process a billion loans. Okay, and if there's issues with it, it can escalate it to the next level. What's going on, MU?
BGS, how's it going, man?
Pretty good.
I am well, thank you. Yeah, we come a long way since our last discussion on this stuff. Every single week, and I do mean every single day. There's new tools,
Yeah.
new projects, new models. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they're releasing them now. The models have been there, and that's what the I think the guy said was saying in another interview. They've been there. They just haven't released them. They're just starting to release them. This is I've been telling you, this is a baby because he said they asked him, "What do you think about ChatGPT?" He said, "When I first saw it, I wasn't impressed because I've used other things similar that are better."
Hmm.
So what you see with ChatGPT and Dolly and all that kind of stuff, these are babies. They can give them away.
yeah, yeah. I think we're at the point where, like in 1994,
Uh
in
huh.
terms of like the World Wide Web, I think that's where we're at. Matter of fact, I don't know when I'm going to leave the country ever again because I'm just so bogged down and trying to catch up on the stuff and trying to stay ahead of it, in terms of like training myself and certifications. And matter of fact, have you been watching Microsoft Build over the past 2 days?
I have not watched it. I think it's AB Media. He's been watching it. Haven't had time to watch it. What do you think so far? What's the
So,
highlight?
so just like Google,
Uh-huh.
the entire conference, the entire conference is about AI. And
Really?
as you
Okay.
know, they have what was it, $10 billion for a 49% stake. So
Yeah.
they're rolling out with Copilot on all of their platforms, their 365 platform, their Windows platform, the Azure platform. So everything is going to have Copilot, which is going to run chat. Actually, I don't know if it's a separate model from ChatGPT on the back end. Not ChatGPT, OpenAI model on the back end. But yeah, they're integrating it into everything. So if you want to run your terminal programs, it's going to have Copilot running right next to it, so you don't have to memorize terminal commands anymore, or arguments.
Uh-huh.
Your words, your Excels, your PowerPoints, your Access, everything, your projects, Power App, um, ecosystem, all of it's going to be running Copilot, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to do any of that. Visual Studio as well.
Uh-huh.
Now they say that it is a an assistant, but these MFers get up on stage and say, write me an entire project that does X, Y, and Z, and GitHub Copilot X did it in about 5 seconds. It
Yeah.
wrote the test, it wrote everything. So all you have to do is press build. That's
Okay.
it. And if
Wow.
there's anything you don't know, it'll be Copilot in like a side panel on the
Uh-huh.
window. Let's say Visual Studio Code. You ask, what is this? What does this test do? How can I improve this? How can I refactor this? And it will give, not only it will give you the answer, it'll do it for you.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I will agree with you. In the next This Christmas is going to be really fun in terms of what Nvidia is going to do in response to this software.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years,
Uh-huh.
I'll say 5 because people don't move that fast. We are, in terms of software development, is going to be filled with, what's your favorite word?
Script kiddies, huh?
There you go. But that's a good. I still stand by the position that's a good thing, because higher level of abstractions, while yes, there is a downside to it, making people more productive, especially programmers, is a good thing.
How many do you need though?
You keep asking me that question. I don't have an answer for you. If you could have one person
Uh-huh.
with Copilot running,
Uh-huh. Like you, somebody like you. That's not a script kiddie. Yeah.
generating the entire project in a
Yes.
snap of a finger and not months,
Yeah.
5 tops,
Okay. As opposed to
20 or 30.
that's well, didn't I say that earlier the first time? It's not a matter of whether you can get rid of everybody. It's just how many do you need. So in other words, script kiddie, say script kiddie that just took just got their certificates and they didn't put in all these years um, into IT going to college. Who did they keep?
Well, as far as like on that end, like the
Hmm.
cloud engineers and the data engineers, well, I mean, Microsoft said Copilot is going into their entire database infrastructure too. So
Hmm.
who knows going to be left on the Microsoft side? But
Hmm.
um, yeah, it's coming for all the stacks. So I don't know. I know humans won't act rationally immediately. So I mean, you could delegate those extra developers, those extra data engineers, those extra cloud engineers to do something else or something more advanced to help the business or advance the business. But people just don't think that far ahead down the road. So I don't know.
Hmm. So what I'm saying is you work with this stuff and you are you're not a script kiddie. So and when I say script kiddie, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So the thing is, how many do you need? Would they take somebody like you that makes you know 2 or 3 times as much as a script kiddie and replace you instead of them?
Well, I'm not worried about me because I'm gonna get mine regardless, one way or another. I don't feel
Okay.
threatened by this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But as far as do I feel like my education has been cheapened? No, because there's always going to be value in learning assembly, learning the low level stuff. Even if the chat bots they work in both directions now, not
Uh-huh.
just up, because you can get Chat GPT or Bard or what is Microsoft's chatbot name? Bing Chat. You can get them
Okay.
to write assembly, but yeah, there's always value.
Yeah.
Even though even if a bot can do what you can do, I
Yeah.
mean,
It needs to,
I
somebody has to keep an eye on it
yeah,
and tell
I'm
it what to
fine.
do.
I'm fine with my role being reduced to a technical support engineer as long as the pay is around the same. I'm good with that.
You might make more because they need less of you.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So, and this is somebody actually sent me this, right. 100% lab grown babies in 5 years. Japanese researchers are on the cusp of creating human eggs and sperm that can be grown in a fake womb. Okay, this is uh this is today, May 25th. Okay, Daily Mail. Okay, basically, well, I told you, COVID slowed all this stuff down, right. The thing is, now they have to catch up. They have to catch up to 2025. So they're accelerating all this stuff. In other words, this rollout's going to be a lot faster. Look at the AIs they're rolling out, right? Instead of rolling out like one every, like ChatGPT probably could have 3.5 could have probably rolled around for like a year, a couple years, right? Okay, and been just fine, right? But guess what they're doing? They're accelerating this. Why? Because they're pushing the envelope because now they're in competition. Like Google wasn't going to release Bard. Okay, they have to release Bard now.
Yep. Yeah, I
Okay,
remember that debacle on day one when they announced it,
yeah,
and it's actually pretty good. It's not
yeah.
GPT-4, but it's a very good alternative.
Well, the thing is, they got to catch up. They said, Jerry Ironman said yeah, in margin call, uh, be first, be smarter, or cheat. Okay, you have to compete now. Okay,
Yeah.
because you weren't first. Microsoft decided they were going to be first. In fact, I could tell by the by the when they were interviewing this guy Godfrey, basically he was saying that it was kind of, he said it was almost like scorn, like would they actually release this thing. So in other words, evidently Microsoft is like the black sheep by releasing this thing without without the restrictions that would normally be on it.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because a good portion of their talk, of the conference's talks, was about quote unquote safety and the restrictions that they're putting on, building into the entire copilot platform. They actually made that a point and build. Now, whether they follow through with it, we'll see.
And they might, okay, but thing is, how many of these things are out there, and to catch up, what will somebody else that maybe not be as scrupulous as Microsoft do to
Well,
catch up?
open source is keeping everyone honest because open source. I mean, the bots that's coming out in open source, and the only reason why they're not as advanced as GPT-4 is because of consumer hardware. That's why I
Hmm.
said this holiday season it'll be very interesting to see what
When
Nvidia and
you see,
AMD.
you talk about open source, I'm talking about the private firms that have developed these things over many years that haven't released this their versions of the
Okay.
language models and stuff like that. What if they decide to actually take restrictors off because they want to catch up?
But well, if they're private firm, why? Okay, the private firms, why would they release it to the wild
It doesn't have to be released to the wild,
or
okay?
leaked?
The thing or leaked. The thing is, in other words, they're competing for business with other firms, right? Like Microsoft, like Google, like like Facebook. Okay, they all got these things. We just named three, okay,
Well, okay, hold on, wait.
and then Musk has his own. Okay, that's four of them. Okay, that are independent. What about how many does China have? How many
So,
does Japan have?
well,
How
China,
many? How many does Europe have that we don't
Ch-
know about?
China is the largest user base of ChatGPT. They're ahead, but I don't know if they're miles ahead of everyone else.
So Chat GPT is the baby. Okay,
Well, they're
it's
all
the
babies, but
No,
But
no, 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 they're not all babies. Okay, even OpenAI, ChatGPT is the bottom tier. It's the bottom tier. If you look at their literature, that is the bottom tier. Okay, the paid tier is actually smarter and at a higher level. Okay, what about what? In other words, what does Google have? Okay, what does Facebook have? Okay, what is whatever Weibo or whatever company that's out there? What
well,
do they have?
I will say Meta is also like the big disruptor because they releasing all their stuff for free, open source.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it. Like matter of fact, open source wouldn't be a factor if that Llama large language model wasn't leaked back
Hmm.
in mid-January. That changed everything. Because now open source is definitely a force. And then they just came out, they just released another model that does transcription and language translation for over 1,200 languages
Hmm.
for free.
Yeah.
So now, as far as like the private firms, I have a hard time believing that there's a firm out there that is putting more money into AI than Google.
Uh, it's called the CCP. Okay, Communist, the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, that puts trillions will put trillions into something like this.
I can't factor something that I don't. If I,
In other
if
words,
it
in
may,
other
it may not
it,
exist.
it does exist. If Google has it, if Google has it, if Meta has it, if Musk has it, okay, Chinese have it because they got way more programmers than we do.
Okay, I agree with that part.
So in other what I'm saying is, as with all these models competing for one another, right? Competing
Mhm.
against one another. When is somebody going to say, I'm going to bend the rules a bit?
Um,
And then we're just talking about language. We're not even talking about other stuff, man. Like in medicine or digital currency or stuff like that. Basically the Chinese have a secure AI that does banking already. They've had that for a while.
yeah,
Okay, a trusted AI. They've had that for 10 years.
I think.
They
Well, outside of China, I think regulation will keep like the large businesses keep them honest as well.
Yeah, we thought that with COVID, didn't we?
Well, regulation is coming.
We thought regulation would actually handle things like COVID and these kind of things, right? And guess what happened?
So you don't think regulation is coming by the end of the year?
What do they regulate? They don't even know enough
So
about it.
they call it what? Well, well, there's people in Capitol Hill that can't tell the difference between Facebook and Twitter, but
It's
that
that they
doesn't
can't.
stop them from making the rule.
Okay, the thing is, what rule do they make and what do they cover? Because guess what? Any rule you make has what loopholes.
That's true, but I mean, the companies are going to abide by those rules. They may break them and pay the fines, but
Yeah.
mm,
When it comes to profits, okay. When it comes to profits, I don't trust these people.
I
When it
agree
comes
with
to
you.
profits, I don't trust Microsoft.
I agree with you.
And to compete to win the race, okay. There's somewhere along the line, someone's actually going to bend. Once one firm bends a rule, then everybody else will follow to keep up.
Okay.
And hopefully our better angels will come in and kind of restrict some of these things. But you know what? I don't have much confidence in that.
I don't think that if that does happen, and I do agree with you, I think it will happen. It won't be advertised. They'll let the chains off slowly, and then it won't tell anyone.
And all day one day you show up, you show up to work and basically instead of a boss, you got an AI. Okay, it's one day. In other words, your president won't have a body anymore. He'll be on a screen. Okay, that's when you'll know, but it'll be too late by then.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know. We're gonna find out, won't we? But the thing is, I know what people want to know, man, is basically um, about your job. Okay, the United States is basically a service economy.
Yeah.
We're not the biggest manufacturer on the planet anymore, right? So we
Nope.
don't make a whole bunch of things, right? Most of your jobs are service sector, right? them bad boys can be replaced. Okay. And the only reason they haven't been replaced is because it's gonna fuck up the economy because you can't sell things to bots. Bots don't buy stuff.
This is
That's your
true.
only saving grace. The thing is that uh, they can do things, they can sell things, they can make things, but for whom?
Question: do you think there'll be regulation that mandates companies have like a, I don't know, a certain number of people?
I think eventually there will, but thing is, how long will that take, and what's the damage by the time they do it?
Because France ain't tripping at all. They're like, we good over here.
Fra- France. Okay, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna go off script for a second. France is gonna have a GDP problem because a lot of its money comes from the 14 African colonies, right? They're trying to get off the CFA franc. I think 25 to 30% of their GDP comes from those countries. And the
Mm,
thing is, they're having a problem because that money is starting to go away. That's how come you have riots. You have riots in the streets already in France. Okay.
yeah. Is that still happening?
Yes, it never
Okay.
stopped. It
All
never
right.
stopped. The protests and it's on a smaller level, but it's still happening.
So they're going to have economic problems from other things, just not from the bots.
Europe is a wreck right now because with the stuff that's going on, in Eastern Europe right now with Russia, right? Basically, I think the UK inflation rate, UK is like 10%. You got people going to fucking food banks. Okay, you got people
Mm.
walking into stores stealing food right now in the UK in London. That's how bad it's getting. And that's a representation of all of you. What happens when this bad boy comes in? Okay, inflation rate is already bad here. Okay, it's already bad here. Not as bad as it is in the rest of the world, but it's already bad here. What happens when companies need to make a profit? What do you think they're going to do? Think they're going to say, "Oh, we can't replace these workers with AIs because they need to have a job," or are they going to look at their bottom line?
Yeah.
That's black pill. Okay, it's not red pill. It's fucking black pill. Yeah, I don't trust them. Okay. And that's what the guy. I'm actually gonna find that clip. I'll actually find the clip where he actually said that. This is neoliberalism that's been going on for the last 30 years, right? And basically, your wages have been flat for the last, since 1975. Okay, and basically, we used to pay 16% for lodging, right? For houses and apartments, 16% of your wages uh, for housing, right? Now it's 30, well, 30 if you can find it, more like 50 to 60% for housing and lodging. Okay, unless you move to the middle of nowhere. Okay, then you have to worry about finding a job. So the thing is, that has been neoliberalism for the last 40 years. Where you think they're going to do when they have profits where they can make by replacing people? They did that when they shipped all the manufacturing to China. They think they're going to stop now?
Yeah.
I'm asking. You trust these people?
No, I don't trust them. Why you think? That's why I stick primarily to open source until it catches up, and then I'm done with all the commercial shit.
And Salty says 40% for lodging. Yeah, of your income.
ChatGPT had data spillage. I would not put my company priority. Well, well, well. Did that stop them from using cloud services? No. Is it going to stop them from using AI based services that's sitting on the cloud? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Now,
Let me ask you this, Black Ops. Okay. Let me ask you about this, man. If you're a capitalist, I don't know if you're a capitalist, right? Say you got, say you got a team of like 1,000 workers. Just say, okay. And especially at a high level, that you paying 80, 90. What's the average IT worker make? $100,000 a year, give or
sure.
take.
Let's go with that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good round number, right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. And say and that's just the wages. And we're not talking about compensation like medical, vacations, unemployment insurance, all that other kind of crap that probably adds another 50% to that. So say the package of that worker is $160,000 a year, right? Just say, just as a rule of thumb, okay? say it can replace half of them, what's your bottom line going to look like? And with no loss of function, no loss of service, no loss of anything, you can just do it. Would you do it? If you're the boss and you're the board, would they do it? Because people are thinking with their hearts, because because you're a worker, you're not an owner, you're a worker. Okay,
Right.
would you do it if it came to your bottom line? Could you walk in? Could you walk in and I don't have the calculations in my head about how much it would cost them per year. Okay, but I would gather it would at least be 20-30 million at least. Okay,
We'd all
they could
do
pay,
it.
huh?
We'd all do it.
I don't know. I mean, some people wouldn't. Some people will be bleeding hearts, and they say they wouldn't. But the thing is, your competitor, if they do it, they can actually sell their services cheaper than you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you this: in the next by 2030, we're gonna have more
Now, oh, he says
self-made.
I'm a consultant. My job is to crush people. See, okay, see. So that bullshit about ChatGPT and spillage, right?
Well, it is a data. It is a concern, but it's not going to stop companies from going to the cloud.
What ChatGPT is for the consumer. It's consumer grade. Okay, it's not the stuff that you would use as professional grade. Okay.
Well,
The back they use OpenAI, but thing is,
they
but the thing is, but the thing is, what they use, what Microsoft is using for its back end is not ChatGPT. Okay,
well, I don't know what Microsoft should back in,
You-
but
yeah,
what they're advertising to businesses is the Copilot platform, which I believe is GPT-4 on the back end.
yeah,
I
Yep.
believe it is.
yeah. I don't know. They have other models.
They do have other models.
So,
Like the
so
model they have for ChatGPT is not the same that they have for Bing Chat.
yeah,
So who knows what they'll have for Azure
for
based
Azure
services.
and Bard when they link up with Adobe, you know.
Yeah, Adobe has their own thing. Matter of fact, they just came out with an update a couple of days ago where you can do like a generative fill, where you could do a selection in the picture and you could just put in a prompt in Photoshop and
Yes.
say fill it with whatever, and it'll do it.
That's yeah, because that man, I've heard photographers online and complain about this man. They said
Man, they can
they're
get
gonna
in
go out of
line
business.
with the writers and the digital artists. It comes for everybody.
It was kind of nurses, digital artists.
Well, I think nurses are safe due to regulations.
Uh, the thing is, there's not enough of them right now. Right now,
Yeah.
okay. But I think about other hospital workers. Well, look at uh, people, claims adjusters, right, or even medical insurance workers, right, that go through forms and do medical claims. Okay, that kind of stuff, sales, or phone sales, all the good kind of stuff. They're replacing cashiers already. Basically, I was at Home Depot last week, right? Okay, yeah, there used to be like 10 registers open for Home Depot to check out stuff, human beings, right? And then maybe a couple of scanners on the side. Now they have 10 scanners and a couple of registers open.
I think the problem is that businesses are not going to react fast enough to the change, and there's going to be a transition period. Like New York City, I think they were the first school district to ban ChatGPT. They reversed that.
There's no okay. There was an article I saw. I'm trying to remember who sent it to me, where a professor at the University of Texas actually um, gave all his students an incomplete for doing an essay on their final, right? Because
Mhm.
he accused them of actually doing Chat GPT. Thing is, did they or did they not? But thing is, he couldn't prove it
Right.
because the tools for schooling haven't caught up to it yet. And basically, at this rate, you're working against an AI. By the time you come out with a tool to actually detect it, it's actually going to get better.
Well, there's tools to detect bot detection, but they can be easily circumvented. So,
Yeah,
as far as the professors go, it's a cat and mouse game with bot detection and
yeah.
yeah,
It's a losing game
yeah,
for the average professor.
right.
Okay. So you
But
can ban it, but you can ban it. How can you prove it unless you unless you're making them writing by hand in class?
And then kids, and then the market would just correct by those kids, by the future classes of kids just going to online only colleges.
Yeah.
Because who wants to put up with that crap?
Well, the thing is, if every okay, let me ask you this, man. If you're gonna hire a programmer, okay, that got a certification by going online and using Chat GPT and never really learned this stuff,
Are we, certification or a degree?
or even a degree,
Okay.
would you hire that person?
Um. So, well, me being the business owner,
Mhm.
no, because I'll just do it my damn self. But if I
No,
didn't know, if I didn't have the technical background, uh, I don't know. That's a hard. That's it.
and
There's other
could,
factors that
in
come
other
in.
words, could so okay, so if everybody's so-called we just call it cheating, just for lack of a better term, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's call it cheating, right? If everybody can just go online, not study, not put it in your head, and actually go to ChatGPT and for the answers and pass, okay, and
Hmm.
get a degree or certificate, whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
After however many years, right? And you really never learned this stuff. Would somebody hire that person?
Well, the way that tech interviews are conducted now, no, because the way that they're done, they usually ask like data structures and algorithm questions,
Hmm.
which you have to learn. They now in your day to day is not dealing with those brain teasers. It's Programmers are glorified Google searchers, Chat GPT users. Because if you don't know the answer to the question, if you don't know the solution to whatever problem you're having, and you don't know the solution to most problems that you're going to have, you're going to look it up. And this is where my argument of learning by reference versus learning by memorization comes in. So if the person that's bluffing to get into the tech industry, to getting into the software engineering
Yeah.
field, if they
Well.
can bluff their way past the interview, they deserve it, quite frankly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're still for the I think for the most part in the industry is college degree, either in software engineering or computer science, just to get in the door. Now there's a lot of companies that has kind of don't go by that, but I think most companies do. So if you cheat your way through college, and if you dedicate 6 months to 6 to 9 months to DSAs, data structures and algorithms,
Hmm.
elitecode.com, hackerrank.com, codewars.com, and you get good in those 9 months, and you can become world class in 9 months. Yeah, you have the degree, you have your GitHub project repositories,
Hmm.
and you can pass the interview. You deserve that 150, 200, $250,000 job because your job, your day to day, is going to be looking stuff up for the most part, anyways.
Hmm.
So yeah,
What
now
do
when
you
I
look?
hire them,
Yeah. What do you look up? What do you look up? And the thing is, can you troubleshoot? Because that's the biggest thing. Can you troubleshoot? Do you know what you're doing?
again, Copilot,
Can you
co-
be Can you be co-pilot? The thing is, if it's something like that, how many people do you actually need?
I already said one.
One, exactly. And that's the thing. And that is what I call programmers. That is at the tippy top. Okay, as far as tech. The ground the on the ground stuff, right? The meat the bare metal stuff, right? Okay, that's the tippy top. What about everybody else down the line that's whose job can be replaced with, because they have repetitive tasks?
Aren't most jobs just repetitive? Is there? Well, sales is not kind of not. Well, oh,
Well,
man, everything, even sales could be replaced because I can hook that up right now and it'll be slow, but you can replace salesmen now with Whisper through OpenAI and 11 Labs
no,
using someone else's voice.
yeah, yeah,
You can do
yeah.
that today.
You can have it do cold calls.
Yep.
Say with your voice, it doing cold calls with an interactive AI, and do like 100 times or 1,000 calls, and then the call that when you get a sale, it escalates to you.
Yep.
You know, I got another customer. I'll call you right back and give me your number. Okay, and then the real person calls. Okay, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
There's a lot. In other words, this is just getting started. Okay, that's the problem. It's just getting started. And the thing is, I don't think they actually know where this is going or what kind of restrictions they have to put on this thing or how to slow it down. In my
Engineering
opinion,
appliance says they'll simply get reskilled like always. So the problem is,
reskill to what?
right,
Okay.
because the bot handles both directions, not just go up. It go like it can handle, the low code and the upper, the high level languages.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I agree with you, engineering appliance, that people will have to get reskilled. But again, how fast are people? Don't move that fast. Like
Okay.
there's still no legislation on this stuff. It's still the wild, wild west in AI.
I'm
6 months later.
yeah, engineer. Okay, since that's a very basic question, right? That's a very basic question. Okay, because during the
You're not going to
during
replace salespeople? Are you serious? I can build that shit on stream right now.
the thing is, how many do you need if they're assisted with AI? It's not can you replace them? How many people do you need as a sales force? And engineer, you guys should come up and ask that question. Okay, and most people are not in sales.
Are we talking about RPA bots? No. Um, RPA is mostly doing stuff like physical stuff with like software and stuff. But yeah, you can do that too with like the voice cloning, and you can
You
train a
got your
bot
camera on,
on a
bro.
sales script.
Got your camera on. You want your camera on? All right.
What's up, BGS?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I do cybersecurity, and like chiming in, like you said, man, AI gonna take a lot of people out, man. I
What's up,
don't think
Professor?
what's going on, man. I just don't think a lot of people realize that.
They don't. The thing is that the World Economic Forum is actually trying to kind of layer this stuff in
Hmm.
slowly, and so that people can reskill or find another way to actually replace these people. Okay.
Hmm.
The thing is, the way they're putting this stuff in now, they're not gonna have enough time. And plus, the way the world is now, as far as them busting up the supply chain stuff like that, man, it's a clusterfuck. Let's put it that way right
Is
now.
the only thing that's really saving them right now? There's such a shortage. Like there's 800,000 shortage in cybersecurity, so the AI just really sucking up that shortage for a minute, right? And developers there are shortage, so the shortage
Uh,
in IT, AI,
uh-huh.
the AI is gonna suck that up first. So that's gonna be the reprieve that
But,
can give you a little time.
but they're laying them off already.
Well, they laid them off because they were actually the big tech was actually hiring consultants to keep them away from other consultants, right?
Okay.
From other
Uh,
companies, right? And
uh-huh.
I did a couple videos that they were hoarding talent. If you
Hmm.
look, most of those people got laid off. They got hired probably for 80% of the salary, the smaller companies, because they were starving for tech talent. Because I work for large states, they can't afford tech talent.
Hmm.
So once those guys got laid off, the states picked them, the smaller guys picked them up.
Hmm.
So I think so from that perspective, they got laid off, but they got picked up pretty quick. Because once again, if you look, there was a shortage in there, and the big guys was just hoarding them out because they had infinite money for them.
And the thing is that just like I said, I told Mertile Universe, right? Okay, if you need a team of people to write code, okay, it's one thing if you have 30 people, 20, 30 people. What happens when you only need one or two?
No, facts. That's
With the,
coming. Like you said,
that's coming.
he mentioned whispers out there. AWS has those, so they're giving you that assistance already to make
Yeah,
coding easier. Right?
yeah.
And two is we've been trying to kill a programmer for 30 years. When I got my computer science degree in 1990, they was trying to kill the programmers back there with case tools and Java generated tools. So we've been trying to kill a developer for 30
Oh,
years, man.
well, the thing is, but they're not trying to kill them; they're trying to make them faster. Because no, you need less of them because
Right,
it used
but
to take teams. Now it doesn't
right.
take teams anymore. It used to take a lot of time.
Mhm.
So
But like you brought up though, is they're expensive too. So you
yeah,
talk about 150,000. Like you
yeah,
said, if you cut 10 of those, that's $1 million you saved on a project, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one of your most expensive resources on a
Yeah,
project is your
and
programmer.
and you guys are like I say, you guys are at the tippy top. There's not that many of you guys. What happens with everybody else down the line? That
Oh yeah.
that including shame, change, claim adjusters. You got people that do shuffle paper, okay, which is a lot of your women, okay,
Oh.
social work, all that kind of stuff. Bankers, um,
But
internal banking,
yeah.
uh, taxes, accounting firms, all that kind of stuff, man. It's going to hit everybody.
Oh yeah, but you're a little older than me, but you remember there used to be typing pools of secretaries, right? Now everybody types their paper, right? So that's the progressive. That's the progression of that, right? People forget when Word and WordPerfect came out in the 50s. You remember there used to be secretaries with whiteout actually typing, man. So that whole industry got taken out. So I tell people, don't cry now; they coming.
It's coming. Like I said, when I first started banking at my bank, because I've been with my bank since 1981. Okay. And when I first got there, like there was, when you walk in, especially on a busy day, you got 50 people in there, man. I walked in on fucking Friday. Okay. We got four people in the whole building. This big ass building, 4.
Yeah, because my bankers tease me because I'm old. I still like writing checks. Most people don't write checks anymore, right? They're doing everything on the web, and the ATM now is actually spit out debits and credit cards for you. So you really don't need to go into banking unless you're doing like a big transactions or doing some real estate.
Yeah.
So that's been automated, right? So
and plus, if you're doing a big transaction, you're not walking to the regular teller. You walking to the officer. If it's a big transaction. So yeah. It's coming. It's just been coming though. A lot of this stuff is being automated. You can't stop it. Yeah, go ahead.
You can't just start a company with just AI says. You a goddamn lie, whole ass lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I was having an argument on when was it? Was it Saturday or could have been last week? Talking about the CEOs being replaced by AIs.
Okay. Well, the weird thing is they had KPI dashboards forever. So most of your CEOs, big time, they're looking at the KPI dashboards, was really just AI on the back end running, formulas. So they really had that all the way.
Well, they always had people actually do numbers for them. They weren't actually doing the numbers. But the thing is, CEOs actually do more than that. They handle people. They don't handle numbers.
Yeah, people don't realize those big CEOs like Jamie Dimon, they went to graduate school in Harvard with all those connections. So they get in CEOs so they can connect with other bankers. So they in that world, right? So you hire those guys for connections, really, not they have knowledge, but you hire them connections. They're cool with the United States hired the Fed Reserve. They was calling them, whatever that big banks. The White House hired most of those guys from that banking. So.
Was it Goldman Sachs?
Yep, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, the vampire squid.
Facts.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
Facts. But they be doing. That's how they hook up, though, man. You go to school for contacts now, right?
Yeah, but I wanted engineering that you come over and talk about people who get reskilled. Reskilled to what?
No, the problem is it's hard for people to get reskilled. People say that so easily, but if you look, the young people get reskilled, not the old people. And when you 55 like me, we the first one get fired because we get paid.
The thing is, you get reskilled to what? That's not
ML ops. The only thing I can think of is ML ops, but that takes a lot of math and a lot of skills.
Well, those are like the 0.01% who actually get those jobs. Okay,
right.
Yeah. What I'm talking about the regular people that would get automated out, like your cashiers, your store help, and will actually guide you and tell what aisle to go on to, that kind of stuff, right? A lot of those people are actually gonna get replaced with a smartphone. Like you go to Home Depot, it'll tell you exactly what aisle your items on, right? When you search for it. Yeah. How many people do you need?
The other thing, and like you said, I don't want to go too black pill, is they getting you ready for UBI. They already tested out through COVID, so they know you can survive on $800. So they know what you need. Go ahead. They know what you need.
They have to be. They're gonna release this stuff. And people thought I was crazy. I said they can replace 80% of the jobs by 2030 if they want to. People thought I was crazy. If they want to, I mean.
I'm not that. I'm giving them 10, but I'm right there by.
So, Professor,
in other words, look at the warehouse jobs, right? Look at the warehouse jobs, right? Okay, the Japanese already have a warehouse that has 90% automated, right? With like 10% workers already. That was a few years ago. I mean, where are people actually going to work?
Amazon got robots already. If you Google Amazon, I'm in the Midwest. My buddy of mine worked at Amazon. He said a quarter of their warehouse was robots, and they were just getting ready practicing it.
Yeah. They're training them.
Yep.
They're training them. McDonald. I laugh. An automated McDonald's where you come in with your smartphone, you order from the smartphone, you drive up, give it your number, and basically the food is prepared by bots and hands you your bag when you drive up.
Facts.
No money exchanges hands. I've been using the McDonald's app for the last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're pushing you towards something. In fact, McDonald's is talking about leaving California because of the wages. So they're gonna start replacing people.
And I just
So
left McDonald's. I need to lose weight. First thing they ask you is, "Are you using your app?"
yeah.
So,
Oh, hey, the best deals are on the app, man.
I know.
I,
I'm a curmudgeon. Go ahead. Now let me shout out to Kobe in the chat. Networking engineer is you're gonna always need network engineers, but what's happening is your network now is in the cloud, AWS and Azure. So you can do networking in the cloud, but I don't like BGS. I don't need 30 dudes. I need about 5 now because it's all in the cloud. I need a couple dudes string on them for my because most people working from home now. I'm not gonna have an office. So once you configure AWS, Azure, or Google, I don't need 30 dudes. I need about 25 cloud engineers, and I just need you to do networking and automation because I'm trying to cut out about 50 dudes.
And some a little blue collar workers that actually come down in case that there's a down wire, down connection, or
the
down
other 0.1%, that 99.9%.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, you ain't gonna need them because everybody gonna be working from home. So if your stuff, you're gonna need to call AT&T or Comcast.
Oh, you call a contractor, come out and actually fix it,
Yep. So you ain't gonna in the future. I don't. And I think, and the millennials, that's their flag. They rather die than go back to work.
Death Racer, I agree with you.
You ain't lied about that.
Those points are bad for you because they give you points, they give you free food. In other words, I was actually doing calculations about on the app, right? Angels 1 free medium fries, right? 2-for-1 special for Big Macs, a quarter pounder with cheese. Basically, buy one get one for $1. Free fries. In other words, you pay $6. Basically, you get like $15 worth of food. Okay.
$15. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, you out there in California? I forgot.
Yeah, 5.
That's half here. And then like with the buy one get one on the receipt, and then the app on top of that, you can get like, I don't know, if you like a full family for like $15 here in Florida. If you know how to do it.
If you know how to do it, yeah.
I gotta stay away from Wendy's because Wendy's, I have the same problem with Wendy's.
Oh
yeah. In other words, if they have automation to actually like your ghost kitchens, right? With that's been automated with robot workers, right? That push out food. Okay. If you have automated drivers, which they have automated cars, reskilled to what? People say reskilled. Reskilled to what?
Dave Tao says, well, data analysts and business analysts, code interpreter plugin with ChatGPT has data analysts shaking in their boots right now.
The thing is, you can analyze it, but things you still need experience to actually read that stuff and actually.
It can make predictions. Right. It does.
Well, it does,
much
but
more than that.
Oh, it can. But the thing is, are those predictions right during in the current climate? It can't do that yet.
How many data analysts do you need to test those predictions?
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, but the other part about that is unless you're going into something super particular, they already got models for everything. I'm an AWS guy, which is Amazon. They got all the sales data because you running through what they ran through Christmas.
Yeah.
They got the medical guys. Watson got, so a lot of those models are already out there. So unless you're doing something super unique, those models are out there.
Everybody always says fully, right? Data analysis cannot be fully automated. It deals with real-time data and dynamics.
Okay.
How many do you need fully? Okay.
Y'all kill me with all these. Well, this can't be automated. Okay.
Not fully.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be automated fully. Okay. If I'm making money, and because me and the entire universe actually disagreed about this initially, right? And he said it's just going to make programmers' jobs easier. I said that's true. Okay. So it's not going to lose programmers. How many will you actually need? And he came back a month later and said, oh, shit. Okay, wait a minute. Really? How many do you need if I can do this by myself in 2 days?
Yeah, one company said they went from 10 weeks to 3 days on their programming. That's out there if you Google it. So
Yeah.
they like you said, that optimization's out there. I want to send a shout out to Engineering Canada. But see, he's my AI guy on the web though. So come on up, engineering. What you doing, man?
Yeah. You come on up.
man.
Yeah, if
Not
you
just
disagree,
only
come on
the-
up.
But
Yeah, that's my man. That's my man.
The thing is, you guys know tech, right? I know these motherfuckers that are running this guy, right?
Facts.
I know them, right? They will replace you. Okay, why you think they came up with the UBI? I was telling they're gonna need that. They're not doing that for nothing. They actually give you a check. They have to have something to do with you, just like what they did during COVID. Okay, you will tear this place up if they don't give you something.
Facts. But BGS, you need to go back to the Pinto. They knew Pinto with you hitting the back was gonna kill people. They ran the numbers. They said it's gonna kill 4 people. 100 people gonna get burned up. We still gonna make 4 billion. Make the car. So they don't care about you, man.
They did it with your vaccine, right? Okay, when it was experimental, right? According to how many billion people they're actually going to give it to, how many people will it kill? It's going to kill a certain amount of people. It's no vaccine, no medicine is safe. Okay, nothing you use is 100% safe. Nothing that you use is 100% safe. Okay,
facts.
Even your food. Okay, it's going to kill a certain amount of people because of allergies. It just is. The thing is, what is the percentage?
Well, guys, I got another meeting. I hate to leave because I could talk
Okay.
about this stuff all night. But
we're
things
gonna
don't-
close it down in about 10 minutes. Okay, and we're gonna bounce because I don't know when I'll do this for like an hour. But thank
yeah,
you
I'm
for coming
definitely
up.
gonna. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm definitely gonna have live stream on this later, especially about Microsoft build. But yeah, have a good one.
Oh yeah, it's here.
Shoot me an email, MGTOW Universe. I'll come through.
MGTOWuniverse.com. No, at gmail.com.
All right, I'll hit you up.
All right.
The clone. The clone, the voice cloning the software. Man, the thing is, for top level people like distributing records, stuff like that. Okay, they still need human beings, right? For what if you just need a track to put in your video, or a track to actually put on your on your Facebook or something like that. Just a little simple track that sounds like a song, sounds like a person, right? That's all you need. Okay. They were getting licensing for that kind of stuff. They were getting royalties for that stuff. What happens when that goes away? For millions and millions of people. Okay. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about top level people. Not that many people leave top level folks that actually do things. Okay. Those folks will never go away. But the thing is, for regular people like me, do I need that? If I need Snoop Dogg to actually do a voiceover, okay, he's gonna cost me what, $10,000 just to get him to do it, right? What if I can get an AI to actually do it for free? Doesn't have to be exact, just close enough.
Ice Cube said he was gonna sue already though. BGS. Ice Cube said he's suing.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Ice Cube said he's suing.
Good luck. And it said I've made what AI bots can do. I've created a few to take care of tasks, and they've delivered every single time. In other words, you don't need assistants and secretaries, okay, or as many.
Like I said, I use it at my job, and I do federal level work for compliance for very large companies, and I put it in ChatGPT to spit out a nice baseline, and I just tweak a few things, and off and running.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Multiply that by 1,000 times that you would normally pay people. What, $30,000 a year? If you do it that many, or say if you're in a company, $40,000 a year.
No,
say if you need something, and say you need an attorney, say an AI that knows legal, legal framework, spit out an answer instead of having an attorney on retainer.
They got that one out there already. I think it's called Do Not Use. It's doing parking tickets and stuff. And like you said, I was doing a real estate deal. I told ChatGPT to spit out an all cash deal for my state and my county. It wrote a pretty decent contract.
Yeah.
Right. So then my lawyer just peeked it out. So I don't have to pay them 2 or 3 hours. I pay them 15 minutes, to tighten it up just for my county.
Yeah. And that's that is them, the threads pulling at the fabric. Okay. Not all at once. Okay. They can't do it all at once. It creeps. to be from the time the machines came in say like the 18th century, 1775, 1780, right? It took 100 years to fully
Facts.
convert. Okay, this will do it in like a tenth of the time.
So are you gonna get Luddites though trying to tear it up? You're gonna have the new new feature,
That's what
the
it's
Luddite, Luddites, Luddites.
the UBI is supposed to take care of a lot of that. That's how come they're paying people not to work.
Facts,
They
facts.
don't mind people guys staying at home with their porn and working in 18 hours a week or 30 hours a week. Okay, and eating Cheetos and playing video games. Okay, it keeps them out of the street, keep them from tearing shit up. That's what they're afraid of. If the women are bragging because they say we're ahead of you, but a lot of these people, a lot of women have a lot of soft jobs. Psychology, social workers, maybe even teachers. Teachers are not that bad. Teachers, they don't have enough of right now, because teachers are basically babysitters for the most part.
Oh, I
Uh,
agree. I think my like would be my black pill thing is most school districts, especially high school, they can't afford the taxes for their school district. So I think they're gonna get rid of public schools unless you got money. You already proved you can teach online. So I think if you don't have money, I think they're gonna get rid of public schools in the next 10.
well, the thing is, because I had my grandson for like the 2 years with COVID, right? And sitting in it with him, and basically, if it wasn't for me, he would be behind. Okay, the kids are not socialized just yet to be taught online. Okay, a lot of what goes on in school, especially the school system that we have, is socialization. Can't do that at home in front of a computer screen.
Yeah, but I think that generation, they don't talk to each other anyway. I got grandkids, they text each other in the same room. I have to yell at them. So I think they already there, BGS. Chime in on that.
The thing is that they've proven, because what I saw with my grandson was proven out all over the country, right? All those kids are like a year behind because teaching a human being is different than just spit out information. Okay.
No, I agree. I taught 10 years at a community college. Like you said, when I'm teaching, I can look in somebody's eyes and say,
Right.
they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's hard to do that when I was teaching online. Like you said, there is a level you do miss with that. I agree with that.
And it's not as effective. At least they're not socialized to do it yet. We'll have to see if they get socialized to do it. But that's we'll find that out in a minute anyway, okay? Because the parents are going to be home with the kids, so we'll see.
No, facts. But a lot of people use school as babysitting too, so that's going to
it was always meant for that. There's a book called it's called The Boy Problem by I can't remember her name. She actually said in 1850 when they brought in the public schools is to get the kids off the street. That's the first thing. It's been for three things. One, babysitting, get the kids off the street. Two, socialization. Actually blend them, actually get them to work together and fit into society. Third is actually education. Education is always third.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think they're trying to figure out I call it the new educational model, right? Because people are not getting as many degrees. I think people try to use tech like a trade school now. So I think people are really trying to figure out because the ROI on your average college degree is not worth it, right? You can't spend $100,000 and come out even if you made $20 an hour, those numbers don't balance out.
It's because in '96, after Bill Clinton killed welfare for the most part, right? He sent all these regular people to work to school and paid for it, right? So in other words, when I went to school in the 70s and 80s, right, only 10% of kids actually went to a 4-year college. Okay,
Facts.
Now it's 60. Okay,
Facts.
You flooded the market with degrees. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I graduated college in 1990. Like you said, it was a little more specially. Now it's like it's flooded, but our degrees aren't equal either. So
what'd you graduate in?
Like you said, computer science, and I got an MBA.
Okay.
I got a bachelor's computer science and MBA. So that's why a lot of people in chat, I got my little channel. But go ahead.
So what are they gonna do with the script kiddies, man?
Oh, they out. ChatGPT's doing more, like you said, than the script kiddies, right? So they're done, right? The only thing they might say the script kiddies is the basics of scripting. You can move automation into the cloud before it gets saturated, right? So I think those cloud jobs are out there, and once again, there's a shortage. So if you're scripting, you better script the automation and jump to AWS or Azure. You got about 3 or 4 years because that automation's going to take the script kiddies out because they build they call them playbooks. They got playbooks built for basic stuff already. Where you hit the button, it'll spin this up, or do this, or take the database down. So they got playbooks already that what the script kiddies was doing anyway.
See, one says 77 basic says you're 100% correct. I own a small auto body shop. I haven't seen an adjuster in 2 years. Take photos, submit, and the AI does the initial estimate and supplement for additional damage. They're here already. See?
Oh, facts. I know a young guy. He's trying to build on that with his thing, and I'm helping him from a cybersecurity perspective. So now
one thing they are going to need is cybersecurity. Okay, they have to keep an eye on this shit.
But let's be real, the AI, they doing it just as good, right? And two is a lot of people don't realize when you're doing cybersecurity, they want you to have a couple years under your belt. A lot of people think they could just jump straight into cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Right. So they want you to do some other stuff before you get into cybersecurity. So I think by the time people get in there, they're gonna have to hurry up because AI, like I said, it's in cybersecurity. I'm on Amazon AWS. They got a lot of built-in cybersecurity stuff where you hit a button and it's federally approved to do work with DOD, IRS. They got that stuff pre-built for you.
Yeah. Anything repetitive is gonna get killed.
Already killed. already done. But I still think tech is a good thing to be in. You just got to get in front of the curve before you get ran over. That's all.
Get on your surfboard because waves coming in.
But that's the cool thing I tell about tech. Anytime, every 10 years, you get a new paradigm. So you had to jump on it because, I started in mainframes. Those guys are damn near obsolete, right?
They've been obsolete for a long time.
Right. So that's the cool thing. If you get on a wave, you can make 6 figures. But if you miss a wave, you can be unemployed.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
They've never seen anything like this that's coming. Okay, this is a tidal wave. This is that big what do they call that wave that hit Thailand?
Tsunami.
It's fucking tsunami. Okay, getting ready to hit.
The only thing I think might help is I think the government's gonna I think they're gonna do a robot tax or AI tax to try to figure out how to fund it and make sure people get UBI. So I think they're gonna be some pre-training. So like I said, I think you're gonna get a decade, but I could be wrong. You and Dr. Dix, they like think it's coming a little quicker. I just think by the time you get funding for it, some of that shit's expensive. So
they had plans for they had plans since 2013 about 2025 being a marker date, right? About certain things like automated driving and stuff like that. That's probably not going to happen. Okay. The thing is, what else is going to happen to actually make up for it? Okay. So a lot of this stuff we're behind. A lot of stuff we're behind.
Oh, I agree. I just think, it takes a while to build and, companies get ready for it. Like I said, the cybersecurity a little bit and ChatGPT also, they had a little spillage. So all the companies are saying, don't put big company data in it, right? Just do small stuff in it. So I think, once they get that figured out too, is like you said, they're getting their own commercial model of ChatGPT. So only your company's using this particular instance of ChatGPT and you pay extra for it. So I think they're figuring that out and, that's definitely coming. So
yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, man, because we're at an hour and a half.
I appreciate you, man.
I'm glad you came up.
No, it's cool. I always enjoy it. Yeah, I'm around a lot of people in the chat. Come check me out. Professor Blackouts. I do cybersecurity. I've been doing it for 30 years.
Type in the chat, man, so I give you a wrench. You actually put your
all right, I appreciate it.
Your link. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. I chatted. But no, I enjoyed it. You'll see me back.
Oh yeah. But this stuff is not going away, man.
Oh, it's like you said, it's gonna go speed up. It's gonna speed up.
Man, I've been telling people for years, man, like 2019, get ready to get left because a lot of people are getting ready to get left. That was 4 years ago.
I'm trying. It's already done happened. It's over with. It's over. So we gonna see.
All right. You got your wrench.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to get to my little channel. I'm struggling today. I'm tired. I'm waiting for this little holiday to come. I'm tired, man. Man. Been on the grind. Let's see. I probably need to refresh it. Let me see my wrench to come up. Let me refresh. Make sure I don't refresh the wrong thing. But no, like I said, it's a great Great video. I mean, great subject.
You're Death Racer, right?
Oh, I'm
Is that you?
Professor. Oh, I'm
Okay.
Professor Black Ops.
Okay, I didn't see you. Okay, where are you? Oh, there. No, that's not you. Type it again. I didn't see you. Just anything, you know. You can keep it, Death Racer. You can keep the wrench. Okay, I'm not seeing you. Are you typing in the YouTube chat? 'Cause I'm seeing you.
It should be in there now. I just got it in there. I was struggling streaming a little bit on my end.
Okay.
It just got in there.
Okay, I'll wait for it to propagate. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Because the thing is, I need experts, man. Because I don't. You guys do the work. I don't.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm trying to get my man engineer. He actually really does AI machine learning for a profession. So I do it from a cybersecurity perspective because that's the new thing we're trying to figure out how to secure is machine learning.
I'm still not. I'm still not
You
seeing
sure?
it.
Yeah, I'm there.
I don't think I don't think I blocked you.
No, I see it. No, I see it when I put it in there.
Okay.
It's
It's
coming
not
up.
coming up. Is it coming up? Okay.
I think. Well,
Do you see it?
I see it on mine. Yeah. So I think we're good. Most people in there, a lot of people in there knew me, so I appreciate it. But yeah, I see it. It's.
He's in the back chat. Okay, I don't see him in the back.
No,
chat.
no. I put it in there. I put it in actually in the chat. I see me, T. Whitler, PK Angel.
Okay, I'm not seeing you. Okay.
You
Put it in
got
the back chat.
195. It might take a minute. Let me put it in.
Put it in the back chat. I'll paste it in.
Okay. In the back chat.
Okay.
Appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing videos, securing machine learning. Like you say, I got about 5 videos on deep fakes, and so
yeah, you should. Yeah, you know, drop me an email. I'll actually hit you. You know, actually share you.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll do
because
that.
this is going to be a problem. You know,
it's a problem already.
It's a problem already. Yeah, I know you're cybersecurity. It's a problem already. You
it's
know,
a problem. It's a big problem. A lot of people don't realize how big a problem it is. Just from people faking. A president did a presentation. A hacker took his voice and told the purchasing thing they needed to check real quick to close the deal, and they sent them because he deep faked the president's voice because he was presenting at a conference. So they've been getting people.
So Now you have to, because they said DeSantis made a mistake on a I think it was a Twitter call or something like that. It was a live Twitter live. And he said he made a mistake by saying something, then jumped off the line and said, you can't believe anything anymore.
Oh, no, you got it. Yeah, because I know people, we tell people try to use code words. If you need something, you need to have a company code word you change every month. So you know if it's real or fake. Right. So.
All right, bro. Let me go ahead and close it out, man. Thanks for coming up, man.
I appreciate you.
All right, folks. We had 2 experts in telling you this stuff is real, man. Okay, this stuff is real. If you're a script kiddie, you got to go to school. Do what he says. You got to hurry up and actually upgrade your skills and stay ahead of this curve. Any job that you do, you need to stay ahead of the curve. If you're an insurance adjuster, you work for an insurance company, you work for a real estate company, you got to get your tech in. You got to stay ahead of the curve. Otherwise, you're actually going to get replaced. It's going to happen. Anything that you do, you need to upgrade your skills. You need to have more than one hustle. It's just the way it is. Okay. I was talking to George Frazier a couple of days ago, right? He's a networking guy, right? He said everybody's going to need a gig. Everybody's going to need a side gig because this stuff is coming. And it's just getting off the ground. And you know how greedy these people are. Okay. They shipped most of your manufacturing to China. okay, because they're greedy. They're not going to get less greedy overnight. Okay, so word to the wise. And there he is. Okay, there he is. Madam is a mod. He finally showed up. I was getting worried for a second. But anyway, we're hour and 40 minutes in. Okay. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I think we're talking about are we talking about bricks tomorrow? Something we were talking about. Was it bricks or is it something else? Y'all remind me. You guys want to talk about the bricks and the de-dollarization or something like that, or what do you guys want to talk about? I say that I think we use blockchains to verify deepfakes. Possibly. The thing is, how many people will they fool before deepfakes actually pass? It's not about you. It's about the regular people. Talk about bricks tomorrow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Tomorrow is bricks. So sounds like more people are going into the military in the future. Most people are not even in shape to go into the military. That's a whole different topic. It's a whole different topic. So tomorrow is the bricks. So uh as always, thank you guys for coming by and we'll check the apps. Okay. Mackenzie, thank you. Okay. John, thank you. Judah, thank you. Uh as always, Salty Balls, thank you. And SL earlier, thank you. Appreciate you guys. So with that, I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.